Righty ho there, YouTube. Today I have some awesome news.
What?
Everybody's been, I'm sure everybody has been looking for these new Masters of the Universe Core and Chronicles figures. And if you look on YouTube right now, Core figures, which are the 5.5 inch tall ones, the $9 ones, well, they're $9 here, but on eBay and stuff, they're going for like $40 and more. And Chronicles, which are the 6.5 inch heroes, which are more equivalent to the Masterverse, they go for even more. Okay, so I was at my local Walmart, well, sort of local, and I was lucky enough to come across two of them. So, and I can't believe I searched for maybe a minute or two, Core versus Origins comparison, and Chronicles versus Masterverse comparison. It's cursorily mentioned here and there. I've heard it mentioned like really quickly in certain places. There's no videos about it yet. I don't know why, because there are tons of YouTube channels that get these toys in advance from the company, and they go ahead and just beat me to those sorts of videos. So, but anyway, before anyone else does it, let's open up a Masters of the Universe Core Skeletor and a Masters of the Universe Chronicles Scareglow, which are the two easiest ones to get right now. And I don't mean the movie Skeletor either. I'm talking about the Alcala Skeletor. So I got two, yeah. But it's alright. I'm not hoarding them, right? One's for this video. We're going to open it up. It's going to go into my collection. And this one I'm giving to a friend. And if he's watching, alternate forum. Yeah, collect Skeletors. So, and we got this is a nice box, pretty cool box, right from the bottom, proper. So yeah, these Chronicles have, now the Chronicles are going to go for like $20 right now though at Walmart. This one was $27, but that's pretty much what you're going to pay for it if you're lucky enough to find it cheap online with shipping and taxes and all that. So it was right there. So, you know, wish I could have grabbed two, made one a prize for the channel, but these seem to be common. So, you know, anybody can go to Walmart. They might even be a Walmart exclusive. So go to your local Walmart and look for these. Also, not every Walmart sells Motu, okay? If your local Walmart doesn't have Motu, just go to a different one. Go to one on the other side of town. There are two Walmarts within 3 miles of my house. Neither one of them sell Motu. But if I go across town, sell it over there. And I went back to my hometown, which is like 20 minutes drive away, to get this one from their Walmart. Look at that back art. That's pretty cool, yo. So, let's do, actually, I want to do Skeletor first. The bubble kind of, I mean, it's not really attached on the sides right there. You kind of got, oh, it is attached. Okay, well, something's given there. It's not terribly greatly, it's thick enough, I guess. The card's extra thick. They've learned their lesson. But yeah, that's how, mostly how Skeletor looked in his first incarnation. He had gold here, gold bat, a gold face, and a yellow sword, yellow power sword. But they went ahead and gave him the cartoon Havoc staff. But we all know. So let's go ahead and open him up. I might even save this bubble because of its shape. I'm going to do some resin casting. So we're going to save his card too. Let's see now. Slide, slide, slippity slide. Got a little name card here at the bottom. Skeletor. So you can pop that out, make your own stands for them or whatever. Yes, I have a Origins Skeletor right here, so we can compare them. Okay, I see places for those little bands, those little annoying hold them in place bands, but only the staff seems to have them. I don't see my Snipper 2000, so maybe these scissors will work. We can get it up under there. Oh, goodness. There we go. Snipper 2001. Let me get that Havoc staff out of there. I haven't looked at it deeply, so I might be damaging it. It's about just like all the other Havoc staffs. It's got a cool shape, though. I mean, really, there's space in the horns. Doesn't really have that Mickey Mouse. Here's a Havoc staff. So this is an Origins Havoc staff, and this is a Core Havoc staff. And as you can see, the Core is taller and wider. But see, there's no space in the horns, so it's kind of got this Mickey Mouse silhouette, right? M-I-C-K-E-Y-E-I-V-I-L. But this one's pretty cool. You could do all kinds of repaints. This one's a little bent. This is a little flimsy right here, but up here it's a little stiffer. That's what she said. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there because I'm gonna need it. Let me get this tape off of his cape tape. All right, yeah. Already now that it's in my hand, I can tell you he's a much smaller figure. Okay, which is weird because his Havoc staff is bigger, taller, quicker, easier, more seductive. So yeah, he's somewhere between, I guess, a G.I. Joe and a Motu. I mean, their arms are thinner. Here he is right beside Skeletor. See? Skeletor and him. Other Skeletor. He looks like a child. So, if you were to make some diminutive bodied people for your Motu Origins world, for your pretend or whatever it is you do, you can use these bodies. They have 15 points of articulation, just like Origins. Hands. This one feels a little chalky. That's pretty cool, though. I like it. There's no shading or anything, detailing on the body. Let's pop his head off. The neck ball seems to be the same size as our Origin Skeletor, so I'm going to see if I can pop this on there. The neck, the ball is fine. It's the neck itself. There, yeah. Okay. Well, you can totally put your Core Skeletor's head and probably his hands on. Let's turn on that light again. I think it looks pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I dig it. The smaller head makes him look more ripped. So the heads are compatible. Just be careful with the neck, because the neck is really huge. Like, almost too much neck. See what I mean? But it's okay. Muscle-built, bound guys have big necks like that. I like big necks and I cannot lie. You chicken cookers can't deny. Okay, so he's got a smaller body. He's got this cape. It's really thick. If you wanted, you could take a wire brush and just rub down, or take a sander, like a belt sander, and pull this across it. Dremel tool with a wire brush on the end of it is perfect for distressing all kinds of clothing and things for people and action figures. It's got that little spinning wire bristles, you know, just pull this taut and eat up the bottom of it a little bit. Or take it outside, put your shoe on it, and scrub it on some concrete. But yeah, it's not reversible though. So it's gold on this side, black on this side. Yeah, there's ever so slightly more mass here, that's obvious. But the proportions are, I mean, these are for younger kids. Let's go ahead and put Big Bonehead's head on this guy. Wow, okay. This is, now he looks like a, like he's maybe 4 feet tall. He's maybe 4 feet tall. I haven't seen Evelyn or Tila from this line yet in a toy. Yeah, I don't have anything over here. So, and his purple is what I would call saddened. It's a little plum. So a little bit of red in it. This is just bluish purple. One of these, this is more closer to indigo, I guess. It's just there's a lot of blue and very little red. This has more red mixed with the blue. I don't know why I'm explaining color theory to you. But the head sculpt is, I like those eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at those people. Those eyes. Okay, so I like the way these look. There's not a whole lot to them, but I'll collect a few of these. These are worth $10. They're for your younger kids who are going to destroy them anyway. So since his torso is so tiny, I don't think his armor would be good for our bonehead. Would they come apart at the waist? I don't think they come apart at the waist, folks. Let's see if I can break him. Nah, they're not coming apart at the waist. They're on there. The arms come out. Because, like, there's no instruction book with this guy. Do the arms come loose? Do your arms come loose? Can you swing them? No. No, they don't. So let's take off his armor. The only way we know how. And that's just take off his head and then over his shoulders. 'Cause you can't take them apart. Since this is small, right, I have a theory. And I'm going to try it. We have this female figure. Stephanie McMahon. Evil Stephanie Lynn McMahon. And I got her because she, you know, it's a good female buck to make customs with. I mean, she's basically an Evil-Lyn that you can paint to be its new type of Evil-Lyn, right? Let's see if this Skeletor armor will fit her. No, she's got that helmet, but that's okay. Alright, you know, this is where I would go if I were going to make a female Skeletor figure. I would do this. You would have to still alter it some, because on the back where the little pegs and holes line up, it's going to be slack. You want to pull the slack out and maybe glue it in place, or heat it in place, burn it in place, melt it in place. I'm going to pull the slack out with my fingers by doing this. But that's pretty cool. That is proportionate for a female. You might have to do something with these a little bit. But like, yeah, I mean, you can make your female Skeletor or female member of the Skeletor cult. I'm going to keep saying it until it becomes a thing. Cult of Skeletor. So, let's see. Yeah, no nipples, someone pointed out. Do any of them have nipples? Yeah. They're not detailed, but they're there. However, on this one, there's not even a bump. Not even a bump. His crossed bones are now more like a long X. Like a St. Andrew's cross, instead of more like a bow tie. And it's got that gold detail. Reminiscent of the Havoc Throne Skeletor. Good sculpt on his hood, though. I dig it. I'm glad I got this guy. He's pretty cool. Little miniature Skeletor. So I'm going to put him back, put his clothes back on him. Don't know what I'm going to do with him, but... So, what I've got next is... He's got nice joints, too. They stay put. Yeah. He's not a bad figure. See how big he is compared to my hand? Not a bad figure. Not a bad one. Let's see what... there goes Skeletor's head. Let's see what he looks like with a smaller Havoc staff. This is more like it. I don't know if I can trick his hand into holding it, though. Oh. No, don't do that. Do not do the thing. See what I just did to my Havoc staff, man? I bit my staff. No, this thing where I attack this job of getting something in their hand by taking the stick and going across this space between thumb and forefinger and wedging it in that way, and then coming back against this, sort of like that. But his fingernails are pronounced. He has a thumbnail too. You're gonna wreck it if you do shit like that. So this is how you fix this. All right. For all you 9-year-old kids watching at home, it shouldn't be watching because I swear. Yeah, that's how you fix that. Yeah, so do we like... I'm going to leave his little cape off. I like him without the cape. Do we like Core Skeletor? Sure. I like this one more than I like the movie figure. The movie figure doesn't look that great to me. It looks so simple. They went in the other direction. Usually in the movies, when they're making a movie version of your favorite cartoon or toy or whatever, they want to make more things to look at. That's why all their hero costumes have lines all over them where there never were before. You know, where Superman was just in a regular old tight spandex jumpsuit. Suddenly he's got lines of stitches. His whole suit is just lines of stitches. Same thing with the Green Lantern. They put texturing all over his suit to give you more to look at, because they think you're stupid. By their averages, the average movie watcher has got a 6th grade education, they seem to believe. Okay, this is a nice box. That's what she said. So, purple. Do we have a compartment? We do. What's down in it? Nothing in there. Nothing but air there. Nothing but air there. Excuse me. Little scene. So, do we need to snip him? First, you gotta get this tape off. Sorry, I'm out of the camera shot for leverage. I'm going to get a camera that goes on my head, and you'll stop missing all that good action. You won't see my beautiful face anymore, but I'm pretty sure that you won't care. Is that all of them?
We don't want to be surprised.
I don't want to push him out and have his head pop off and his arms pop off. I'll tell you what, though. They gave him a great... Oh, my knuckles. Get the stinking scissors off. They gave him a great weapon. Look at that. That is, let's see, who's got the... Well, here's the one that comes with Masterverse. They are really close to the same size. So, I would say the Masterverse one is way more sturdy, though. This one will bend like nobody's business. You know, you can make your... You could make this sturdier by dipping this much of it all the way down in resin, in epoxy resin. Dip it, let it sort of dry, dip it again, let it sort of dry, and then let it completely dry. You wouldn't want to dip this part, though. This part has this great glossy detail to it. Yeah, you see that? So, yeah, and then there's this Origins one that I gave to this Todd McFarlane figure. I didn't have enough female warriors, okay? She was $10. I gave her this big, bloody halberd. Halberd. See if she can stand up on her own. Yeah, all right. Tiffany. Or was that Angela? That's Angela. Okay. So pops out our guy. Pop out our guy. And we pop off his hands. Oh, I see something going on here. His hands have holes in the back of them, which means there are no pegs in there. Like with an Origins hand. Pull an Origins hand there. It's got that peg. So that peg is in the arm. I don't know why they would leave it there, but I don't know. I guess their math told them that it was more secure to do it this way. See, I'm modifying this Mantenna body with a different body. You know, he's an injured robot, like a Terminator. Terminator.
Don't do that.
The top isn't going with those legs. I just wanted to see what it looked like. Okay, moment of truth. Sorry. I've been procrastinating. James, pick up the toy. We want to see the toy. I'm going to take off his hand. Yeah, the nub is in the wrist. God, that hurts. His little fingernails are so sharp. Get on there. Let me change my hand. I like this figure. I like the way he looks. There we go. All right. I'm going to put him in a pose. Heavy metal pose. La 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 la. There he goes. In a pose. He's kind of bow-legged. Let's see. Let's fix that. Oh, I noticed something missing.
There's no twist in the kite.
Maybe you can notice it too. Okay, he's got this pre-weathered edge on his cape, which is cool. Dig it. Not too weathered. He's got this nice armor, this nice fire effect. It's rubbery. I bet you can pull it off and stick it on another figure, but like, that's cool. That's cool. Got this great skull. So you can make other figures out of this guy if you get more than one. I mean, this is sort of a Doctor Doom level cape brooch here. Great body. Got these relief bones on his legs. And the knee bones are pronounced cleverly. And yeah, he's well made, I think. So let's hold him next to... First, let's get them standing flat-footed. Okay. Yada. You're gonna stand flat-footed? Lift it up with your hand. Put down the Oreo crackers and stop doing the sex. Okay. I'm gonna remove the weapon. Yeah. I'm gonna show. There we go, guys. Look at that. Look at that. So we've got Masterverse on the right. They are the same distance away from you. And they're basically the same height. I think the Chronicles is maybe a couple millimeters, 1 or 2 millimeters shorter. But that's a very detailed face. Why isn't it showing me the detail? Yeah, there we go. Look at that. That's amazing. And look at this one. A little cartoony. Would make a better Skeletor. But that, dig it. So there you have it. These two fellas. It really is a matter of your choice, your personal choice. They're dressed differently. This one's more like Misfits. This one's more like actual horror movie. But I like them both. I do. They're pretty cool. I mean, this one I like more, I think. So basically, when they said Chronicles are a little shorter than the Masterverse because the Masterverse are 7 inches and Chronicles are 6.5. Well, most Masterverse are 6.5, I think. Let's stretch his legs straight up and put him next to my Sun Man. Yeah, so yeah, maybe it's less than half of an inch difference, really. It's hardly noticeable. So I would venture a guess that there's a lot of overlap. There's a lot of compatible armor bits and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and put his little hands in a little bag so they don't get little lost. Doink, doink. Yeah, that's all I got to say for today's video. I'm trying to make videos that aren't an hour long. I'm trying. Look at that light. I always start a video going, I'm going to try to make it like 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most. But I just keep talking for an hour, and it just works out that way. I don't want to stop until I feel I'm done. And I guess I am this time. So, do I think these are good figures? Yes. Yes. I do think the Chronicles will be awesome. They're going to have mostly the movie figures for now, I'm sure of. But, you know Mattel, they'll get around to releasing every other character in this line. And he has great joints, by the way. They're immediately sticky. They stay where I put them, you know. I like that. I don't like it when you get one and immediately a hip joint is extremely loose, like old loose leg over here. He's got his loose leg right there. I think I've squirted some glue up in there, though. That's probably why he's actually behaving right now. But yeah, I'm not gonna risk fate, tempt fate. Remember when I had him before, his leg was just like blah, hanging there. So got us another Scareglow, and I'm keeping this one, guys, and I don't have an extra one to give to you fellas and ladies, so sorry about that. And my extra one of these is going to my friend Timmy, who collects these. All right, a little thought for the day. Slowing down. When someone says you need to slow down, they don't mean all the time. They don't mean permanently. They mean to take some moments to just load the proper files in your brain, okay? Things like affirmations, things like those bad feelings I'm feeling are not me. They're happening. They're events like clouds. And I am the sky on which they are projected. And they will come and they will go. And I will know they're not me because when they're gone, I'm still here. So I've been trying to do that to get distance between me and my depression. And I've only learned it, in the past year or two, really. I've been studying Zen for about 10 years. But it takes a while for it to take. It takes a while for things to make sense sometimes. Even if you think you're sharp on the uptake. There's such a subtlety to it. And it's so rewarding. So rewarding. So just go about your life the way you always do. Just do it 3 inches off the ground. That's what a Zen master said. The secret of Zen was. Here's another parable. Zen master teaching a class. The student says, "Hey, master, I don't want to waste all this time. Just go ahead and tell me the secret of Zen. Just tell me what it is." And the master said, okay. Come and see me when there's nobody else around. And so later that day, the student says, I'm going to know it. And he goes to see the master, and he finds him in the garden, in the bamboo garden. And the master is just sitting there in the bamboo garden. And the student walks up and says, "Hi, you're all by yourself now. Can you tell me the secret to what the secret of Zen is?" And the master says, "Yes. What do you see around you?" And the student looks around and he goes, "Oh, bamboo." And he goes, "Yes." And then he doesn't say anything else. And the student says, "So that's the secret? Bamboo?" And the master says, "No, that's not the secret." And the student goes, "Well, what is the secret?" And he points to the bamboo and he goes, "What a tall one that is. What a short one that is. What a thick one that is. What a thin one that is. That's the secret." Now, on the surface, something like that just sounds wacky, and he's saying it just to vex you. But he really is telling the truth. He's just using these illustrations to come at it around the sideways instead of forward, because forward has not been working, right? Forward is the way our brains like to work, like piercing. We use our ego to pierce things and scan for danger, scanning for differences. Because a long time ago, anything different meant dangerous, usually. And we identify with that. We think that's us, the scanner, the thing that's looking for the danger and worrying about bills and how my kid's going to grow up correctly. Am I feeding the dog the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I thinking the right thing? That's not you. That is a tool. That is an app That is an operating system that has been put on you. But the natural human organism isn't like that at all. You're a floodlight more than you are a spotlight, right? Remember the story I talked about how you can drive a car and have this animated conversation with your friend, yet you can also drive the car and follow all the rules of the road safely without really thinking about it. Well, you're using the floodlight and the spotlight at the same time. The spotlight is having the conversation with your friend, but the floodlight is driving the car. So a secret of Zen would be to learn to use the floodlight in situations where people think you should use the spotlight. There's a funny and subtle way masters usually go about it. And they do it by doing this. Somebody asks them something like, do you think we go somewhere when we die? Instead of answering that with a heavy truth or whatever, because that's never going to work, they answer sideways with talking about something simple. When you ask the Zen master something grand and cosmic, he's going to answer in terms of earthly and simple. And when you ask him about earthly and simple things, he's going to answer in terms of grand and cosmic. That's just the way they like to impart their lessons. And I think they work. But the thing about it is, it just doesn't work on everybody immediately. Everyone can do it. It's just that they've fooled themselves into thinking they need to learn something first. They need to suffer on the mountaintop. They need to go without eating and drinking and sleeping and suffer and be deprived and reach attainments and yada, 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 yada. But no, it's not really that hard. It's so easy, it's difficult. We just make it difficult. Children do it naturally until we train them not to. Okay? So, look in nature. Look at the simple things that people do. They're not even realizing it, but they're affirming this cosmic hierarchy and energy source that is the ocean, and on which we are waves, convinced that each wave is separate and by itself and not attached to all the other waves in the ocean. So that's where I shall leave it. Go out and do something. Make one person smile today. Just one. Just a random person. Do something you think would make a rando smile, right? Why should I care about a random person? 'Cause they're you. They're all you. They're all you. All these people you meet, convinced they're human beings, they are God's stuff. They are a spark of God himself, convinced that they are this fleshy, suffering, pitiful thing. And a yogi, when he looks at people that come to see him from far away, he gives them this crazy look, and they think he's looking through their soul, but really, he's looking at them and going, I see you, Shiva, old boy. What a far out trip you are on, coming to me saying your name is Nora Simpson. I see you right there. You're not fooling me. That's what he's doing. So, what I have just said is that you have the power, and you always have. See you next time.